What's up, everybody? Happy Monday night, national championship night for all those who care about college football. It's the Hold the Green podcast with your boy Capper and Twitterless Steve. Steve, I know I'm sick. You're sick. How we feeling?
Not great. I've had a itchy throat for about 3 weeks now, and I'm not really sure how to shake it. I'm all bundled up. For anyone, by the way, who has been watching this stream for the last like couple weeks or so, it's like likes to wear hoodies and like a lot of layers. Well, where I do my show is in a detached garage that is just powered by space heaters. And normally it's fine, when it's like 40, 45 degrees out, I can kind of get it pretty warm here. But when it gets to 10 degrees outside and, we insulated the garage and everything. Unfortunately, I can't get the temperature in this garage above 38 degrees. And that is what the temperature is right now on the space here because I can see it right there. So,
too fucking cold. My God.
I know. You're just going to have to put up with this wardrobe for probably another 2 months before it warms up. And then, probably get back to some normal stuff. But yes, I am. We're both feeling under the weather. It is a different week. Torrey Pines, as we mentioned yesterday, the farmers being on Wednesday, completely derails any content. So you got to scramble if you're doing shows, get your picks out, move around, especially when there's a national championship game. Oh yeah, it's just it's so convenient this week. I'm very very thrilled by all these logistics.
Whatever, man. Look, it's another golf week. Anybody who hasn't listened, Steve and Andy did a great course breakdown. Go listen to that. We won't be covering any of that tonight. We're a hard hour, probably a little shorter. Brian and Feinberg are coming on 8 to 9. And I think I told Steve off the jump. Been running around today. I got one bet in. I don't really know where else I want to go. So we'll kind of talk about that when we go through the board.
Well, I like when you do your choose your own adventure shows where you just come completely unprepared with nothing. Absolutely. And then you pick my brain.
I had to drive my 21-year-old to the airport today, and she got home late, and then I had to take one of my kids to go get eyeglasses, and then Ulta was right next door, so I took my other daughter and one of their friends. I was in there for fucking 2 hours. So I've been in the car or in a makeup store pretty much the entire day.
Oh, that's great. You're a good dad. Speaking of being a good dad, you missed the show yesterday because of baseball tryouts. So what's that about? Is your kid trying out?
That's my godson. No, that's my godson. My godson plays, so I'm gonna coach his team this year because he wanted me to coach. I coached a little bit at the end of last year. I really liked it. I grew up absolutely loving baseball, and I have 4 girls, so I have no opportunity to do that. So I try to teach golf, but I suck at that. So I'm really looking forward to it. It was fun, and it's fun watching all these kids like run, and they're like 8, 9 years old. You know what I mean? So it's pretty funny just to watch them.
All right, I can see you as a very aggressive third base coach.
Yes,
just sending kids all the time
with the pressure on the defense.
Exactly, always press there. So, all right, why don't we get to talking about this tournament? I know you said we're not going to talk about the preview, but I do like picking your brain after the fact because, it's mostly me kind of getting on my soapbox and talking about it and, you absorbing a lot of information. So, obviously you've seen Torrey Pines a whole lot. I guess for you, and I always ask this of you, what's your biggest theme of the week as far as types of guys you want to bet on at this tournament? Is it basically kind of like the stereotype we talked about yesterday and that we always bet, or are you going to try and maybe go a slightly different direction?
Nah, I mean, I'm going to stick with the same that we always do. Bombers, good long iron players. I think I might do around the green a little heavier than I normally do based on some of the points you brought up. But yeah, I mean, listen, there's a certain type of guy who plays well here, and I know you hate Torrey. I don't mind it. I think the back nine can create a lot of drama, which is what I like. So I like to if I have a guy like 3-4 shots back on the back nine, I want to at least think I have a shot.
Okay. Did you listen to my little spiel yesterday about how I've matured on my take about Torrey Pines?
Yeah, I know. But I feel that felt like a hostage take though. Like you're holding up a sign like, I love my captors.
Look, okay, how about this? As a golf tournament and what it does, other than just watching kind of the same shots and holes over and over, but seeing these guys play and be tested and struggle, and there is a sense of drama. where par is not a guarantee, and especially on a lot of these par fives as well. Like I think about number 13, where obviously you think, okay, like I bet on a guy, he's got a par five coming up, I'm good, he's going to get a birdie. Well, on number 13, maybe one of the worst holes in America. That's not a guaranteed birdie hole. Obviously, we saw Bryson at the 2021 US Open hit into a Stella box and make a double and him out of the tournament. The layup zone is about as wide as a minivan. If you hit it in the rough off the tee, it is an elevated green. You have basically staircase bunkers going all the way up. The green is like split into 3 sections. It's shaped like a heart too. So that's a tough ball busting par 5, and guys can absolutely make a mess of that thing too. So and you're right. There's another hole where it plays close to a cliff. I think Louis in 2021 hit it in there off the penalty stroke.
I forgot about that.
Yep. And then obviously at 18, you got the pond in front of the green there. If guys are a little aggressive with their approach shots, spin it back too much, it'll roll back in the water. So yeah, there's a lot of drama that can be had. But yeah, I mean, it's I know I get on this mic and say I hate it a lot and just rip on the golf course, but when I end up watching this tournament, especially when it's a close one down the stretch, I'm usually entertained. And it's one of the reasons why, like, this is one of my favorite parts of the PGA Tour schedule because of the types of tournaments and golf courses they go to. This is one of them. I very much enjoy this tournament. I wish they treated it better. I wish there was a signature event. I wish it, they didn't just shoehorn it in, but it is what it is. I can't control that either.
Nope. Certainly can't. Okay. So real quick, before we jump off of the golf course, do you think we're just going to play South when we come back here in 2 weeks?
Oh, that sounds like it. I mean, did you see my half drunk little rant or little text chain there?
I did.
Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, I'm not surprised at all. The PGA Tour is basically status quo 24/7. Take the easy way out with everything, and instead of, and I'm not asking them to go to Augusta or Pine Valley. I'm just asking them to maybe go somewhere new and act like a multi-billion-dollar corporation with all these resources and supposedly great minds, and you're connected to all these sports entrepreneurs. You can't work out in a month lead time some other new venue to maybe be kind of cool and entertaining. I don't care if it's a 27 under birdie fest. I just want to see something new. And instead, because they're thinking about, oh, well, the infrastructure's already there and we want some gate revenue. And all right, we'll just go back to Torrey Pines. It's not even a Torrey Pines thing. I didn't like what they did in Murrayfield Village at COVID, but I was so desperate for golf. I didn't care at that point. And I also don't know how they're actually going to differentiate this golf course other than maybe cutting down some rough a little bit. And it's disappointing, but it is what it is. This is a bad situation. It's a one-off. I'll be annoyed about it for about 3 more hours and then I'll forget about it. So
like it.
All right. Well, before we get to our bets, so I didn't know our producer was going to be here tonight. So I actually looked at the golf tips chart. So I have that in front of me and I'm going to quiz Boston Capper with this list. I can tell you that it is a much easier list than last week. I don't know what the hell that was about.
That's what I'm going to play in Trivia Pursuit with my wife. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. And then she doesn't get it. And she throws shit at me. She's like, why would you say that? So,
I think you can get at least. Okay. All right, fine. Why don't we do this? Over under 4.5.
I'll take the over.
Get.
But I'm cocky.
Okay, let's go. All right. There are 8 names on this list. Go.
I'll just start at the top of the board. I'm going to say Ludwig, no matter the short number, he's on here.
Ludwig is number 2 at 9-1. Apparently, that is the single bullet this week is Ludwig.
What could go wrong?
Exactly. All right.
Tony Finau.
Strike 1.
Oh, really?
I think I got really burned by Finau last week. And I think they're concerned about how he went before a tournament and said, my knee is not 100%. And then he played like complete ass. And I think people are afraid to go back to him, even though he has dominated this place.
Interesting.
And he didn't really get a price discount on him this week either. So
now that course history is so fucking strong. That's why
it is.
Zalatoris.
All right, number 1.
Yeah,
most tip player. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
I think everybody has been calling for Zalatoris to win here.
Yeah.
And he showed relatively well Last week, he burned a lot of edges of putts. So that looked kind of good. Ball striking looked okay.
He missed the cut. Did he miss the cut on the number too?
No, he finished like 15th last week.
Did he?
Yeah, he was, I think, like top. He was like 11th heading in the final round. No, he played well.
I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't even notice that.
Okay. All right. So you got 2.
All right. I'll go back to course history and I'll say Homa because people are stupid.
Homa is number 5.
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
list. So we'll talk about Homa. There's Andy and I kind of debated.
Steve.
Andy and I debated a little bit yesterday about Homa. I looked a little more at the data. We'll talk about him in a little bit.
Fine.
Okay. All right. So you got 3. So only 2 more to hit the over.
All right.
It's going to get tougher from here, though.
Jason Day.
Jason Day, number 6 on the list.
Okay.
Okay. So you're at 4.
Higher. It's a fair number.
It is a fair number, given his course history, given the fact he finished runner-up last week. Yeah, he's been playing well. It's a fair number.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Did I say Keegan yet?
Keegan is not on the list. Strike 2.
Damn it.
Okay. You are right on the number, by the way. So you got no pressure. You have 4 more.
All right. Let's look at it a little deeper. Let's go with Jaeger.
You got it. You hit the over. Number 4 on the list, Steven Jaeger. Runner-up at Wiley, 3rd last year. Probably should have won this tournament if Matthew
fucking
Pavon
blew up on the back
cheat.
nine.
Yeah, if he didn't cheat as well. So, you gotta watch those Frenchmen. All right, never trust a Frenchman. So, but yeah, Steven Jaeger.
What's the shortest? What did I say? What's the shortest book in the history?
What is it?
The Book of French War Heroes.
Oh yeah. I don't think you said that joke on the show. Well done. Well done. All right, you got 3 more. Can you name them? I don't think you're gonna name one. You're not gonna be able to get at least one of these guys. You might be able to get one more.
I only get one more guess. I guess if I get it right, I keep going.
Well, you hit the over, so you win.
Yeah. Just who you got? Just read them off.
Okay. All right. So number 8, Thomas Dietrich, 60-1.
The guy who's never won.
The guy who's never won.
Okay. Just check.
So he also, though, remember on Saturday he had the lead and then he completely imploded.
Yeah, I had Dietrich last year.
Okay. All right. So he's number 8 on the list. Number 7 on the list, my nemesis, Jake Knapp. 200-1 Jake Knapp.
Interesting.
I get it.
Why? Because he fucking mashes the ball? His irons are terrible.
Well, because he mashes the ball. He played well here last year. The Vedanta is probably a good comp to this place as far as types of guys do well here. And yeah, I can see that. I think people just like him. And I don't know. I'd have to look back. I'm not the biggest Jake Knapp follower. So he's never really on my radar a lot because he's mostly just not on near tops of leaderboards. But I don't know. Maybe it showed a little bit last week. I'll have to go looking at him. And then number 3, Vincent Norman, 200-1. That's not going to go well for people. That's
why.
Why?
Yeah. No. Why is he number 3? What am I missing?
Maybe we'll talk about him a little bit later. Maybe he's on my card. But
he made 2 cuts here.
That one, so in the Discord, there were people talking about Vincent Norman in there, and it was met with a couple surprises, but he seemed like he was kind of a trendy pick. And then, but the fact that he's number 3 on the tip chart, that's never a good sign.
Interesting. I mean,
interesting.
Did he play last week?
He probably did. I don't even know if he has. No, he has his card because he won an event. All right. Why don't we just. Okay. So Vincent Norman gained 1 billion strokes with his irons in only 2 rounds, by the way. But he finished T29.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. Let's get to the odds board.
Yeah.
So you don't really know where you're going. So maybe. All right. You're not betting. You're not single bulleting anybody, though. You don't do that. So, all right. Let me ask you a question then, because you're a matchup guy. Okay.
Yeah.
What if I offered you Hideki -130 over Ludwig. What are you taking there? You get plus 110 on Ludwig.
I guess I'm gonna have to take the plus money because I feel like that's a coin flip.
So
I don't like it
would.
though. I don't like it. I
You
don't like
like
that.
it. Why don't you like it?
Because I feel like I don't know. Maybe Decky's. I mean, I know he's 11-1, but maybe people are still overlooking him a little bit. I bet you we're not gonna see a lot of 11-1 on the card. He's got a great course history here. He can, when he gets hot, he can pull off a bunch of wins in a row. Ludwig, I don't know. I mean, I know he played well here last year, but I feel like when everybody expects the kid to finally come through here, like how many times that actually happened? I know Rahm came through here when everybody expected him to. Who else?
And that's really about it.
No.
And you know what? No, I take that. A lot of people were on Homa the year he won.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
And that came through.
Yeah.
Probably some years that like Jason Day won. You know, that was expected.
Yeah, I mean, I take the plus money only because it's the plus money, but I would not feel great about it.
Okay. So I was trying to find, because I'm not betting Ludwig 10-1.
No.
Positional, you're paying juice, like a lot of juice for a top 10. Top 5 is only like 2-1. I don't want to do that. So, but I want to try to get some sort of Ludwig on my card. And I was actually expecting Ludwig to be favorite, like a slight like minus 120 over Hideki. And I'd be like, okay, you know, he's only got to be Hideki.
Yeah.
In the head-to-head. And the fact that he's plus money here, maybe that's excuse me, that might be my avenue to get sort of Ludwig on my card.
What about the tournament group? So Decky, Finau, Keegan, Im, Ludwig, and he's plus 250.
So you think Ludwig's going to beat all those guys?
No, I'm just saying for like it's 2.5 to 1 versus just a little bit over.
Okay. So if I like Ludwig over Hideki for the tournament,
I'd rather do that just because I don't know what's up with Finau. Sanjay's in a perfect bounce back spot because nobody's gonna fucking believe in him.
Yeah. I think Keegan's coming in pretty good form. Although I mentioned last night though that when Keegan is popular, he tends to not show up. So that'll be interesting if you want to try and get him on your card.
He's not on the tip chart.
Okay, I think he's gonna be popular in DFS. He did well at Sony, did well in Hawaii. He has a second place finish here. I would expect like DFS ownership probably be pretty high. But that's for Andy to decide. He's the DFS expert. So that's probably, I have not placed this bet. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. It's Monday night. The card is incomplete.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some speculation and some things I'm doing, but I'm probably going to add that. I think I'm going to bet Ludwig over Hideki. I talked about it a little bit yesterday where they went out of their way to mention that it's playing a lot firmer than other years. It's a lot drier. And when that's the case, it's harder to hold fairways because if you're just a little bit offline, it's going to bound the rough. And I feel like with Hideki, because he doesn't have a lot of pop anymore, that might be a little bit of a problem for him. So I think I'd rather.
I'm fine with it. It just makes me nervous.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. But I want some sort of Ludwig on my card. And I think that's probably going to be the avenue I go. So, all right. So moving a little bit down the board here, you got, there's a lot of guys between like 20 and 30 to 1 now. So, and that helps because when you don't have a true stud in the field. But like, the top group is pretty good. So you got Sungjae 20 to 1, Tony Finau 20 to 1, Keegan Bradley 22 to 1. Max Grazerman 25 to 1, Will Zalatoris, everybody's betting at 25 to 1, Jason Day 28 to 1, Shane Lowry 30 to 1, Maverick Neely 30 to 1, Seth Theegala 30 to 1. Apologies if this is not the real odds. I got these odds last night from DraftKings, but they're all around this price. So
the only one that's really different is Sanjay's 18. Keegan has now moved to 22 already. Zalatoris is at 22.
Okay.
Day's down to 25.
Okay. All right. So of that list there, of this group of guys, who piques your interest the most to bet outright?
I mean, you know who I bet.
Did you bet Keegan?
I bet Keegan.
Of course you did. All right. Talk about it.
So it's a good number. And if we want to talk about long irons, there's few players I trust more with long irons. His putting's improved. So I was trying to dig. When I look at his POA putting, it is not good.
No, I have him losing minus 0.6 strokes since 2020. I didn't go all the way back, but since at least COVID, it's not been good.
Yeah. So That's the only thing that gives me a little pause. But so whatever. I bet it at 25 when it opened, just because like I know long and straight, good long iron player. I figured the number would drop. I figured he'd be on the tip chart, really. And he's my guy. And why wouldn't I bet him on a course that I think fits him really well? And he's got a good course history here. So I don't know. Yeah, why not? Fuck it. And he's playing great right now.
He is playing pretty good. I'm disappointed that I think I cashed I cashed something on him, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But his positional price now is plus 120.
Yeah, that's no fun.
I don't love that. I think it's good. I like Keegan this week because he's just playing really good. The ball strike has been great. He's had a great course history here. I don't know if he's going to find a way on my card because, like I mentioned yesterday, your voice is in my head of when Keegan starts getting popular, he tends to crap the bed. So that might be something I just stay. I just
think about TPC a couple years ago when everybody was on him. I hadn't missed the cut in fucking forever. Went and talked to those morons at Barstool, and I was like, "Oh, we're completely fucking dead. Cash out all the bets."
Okay, all right. Well, so you bet him outright, but you probably will have some more Keegan exposure on your card because you just love the guy, right?
I'll probably bet him top 10 too.
Okay, so I'm looking at his top 10 price right now. You can get it plus 275 is best available, plus 250 or so. I know. The books are not messing around with him this week. They are.
I know.
They're going to make you kind of squirm a little bit. So, but what about the matchup market?
Maybe if I get him on a matchup against Sanjay, even though that feels like disaster all over it.
So there's only one book I see with head-to-head matchups out right now, but there's two available on Keegan. So let's see if either of these pique your interest. Keegan Bradley minus 120 over Jason Day.
No,
you're not touching that one.
No, because I want to bet Day too. That's why I want to talk about like how I need to construct this card. Because I mean, talk about great course history, playing really well.
Okay. So you
I don't want to take him with a matchup where I want to bet him outright too. So who's the other guy?
All right. So the other one is Keegan Bradley minus 130 over Sid Tagala.
I'll take that one.
You'll take that one.
I'll eat the juice. Yeah, I'll eat the juice.
You'll eat the juice. So I
get why Sahith should be good here.
He had
a top 10
good here.
You know,
he's got fourth place finish here.
Okay, so top 10, still top 5.
Yeah. So this is actually
his mid irons are trash. 150 to 175, he's 138th in this field.
Okay, but over 200, he's
170 to 5 to 200, he's 139th. Now, granted, this is only the last 24 rounds, but
yeah, that's too small a sample size, sir.
So for me, it's not.
Okay, so 24 rounds goes back to last September.
Yep.
Okay, so that's relevant.
That does sound a little short when you say it like that, but
yeah, that doesn't compute, sir.
Yeah, well, let me take a look though. I wish I need to.
All right, so here's the thing. I actually bet Tagala outright this week, 33 to 1. I thought that's a good number. He has good course history here. If you stretch out the long iron stuff far enough to where it's a big enough sample size, he's actually pretty good in this field. Great POA putter as well. One of the things I also noticed too, so and this is a stupid trend, but you love trends like this. Remember how we talked about with Eric Cole last week? How he can never follow up a good finish with another one. Yeah. He can't do it 2 in a row.
Yep.
Well, one thing I noticed last year about Seth Tagala is that he never went more than 2 tournaments without a top 12 thrown in the next time. So he'd have at worst 2 mediocre tournaments, and then he'd finish at least T12, or he'd have a top 5 or a top 10 or something like that.
Well,
so
that's not true.
No, it's true. Look at what he did last year.
I'm looking at. I mean, he got a 36th at the Century, 37th at the Sony, 56th at the Zozo. So his last 3 tournaments, they've all been outside of 35th.
I'm talking about just in a calendar year, sir. Okay.
Okay.
And by the way, you're not looking. By the way, you're not looking at the hero. The hero was
BMW 46.
The hero was sandwiched in between there. By the way, so that counts. But
all right. Travelers in U.S. Open.
Yeah.
48.
He had a lot of good finishes last year.
Yeah, but you said.
Okay. You know what? I don't think you're understanding my point on this. Okay. So let's just move on to this. Okay. My point is he actually checks a lot of boxes. that I'm looking for this week. And this is just kind of what Tagala does. He kind of scuffles a little bit for a couple weeks, and then just when all of a sudden he's not popular, maybe an afterthought, he tends to kind of rise in the occasion. So I kind of like him this week. I thought the number getting north of 30 was pretty good on this guy with a high ceiling, who I've seen do well here. Good driver. He's got length and pop as well. I'm looking for that this week.
I don't have any problem with the pick. If I'm choosing my matchup, I'm choosing him versus because I like Jason Day a lot this week.
Yeah, so I understand that because he's so volatile. So I get why you would target Tagala in a head-to-head like that, but he's also appealing the outright market. So all right. So that actually is where I went first on my outright card. I bet Tagala 33-1.
That's a good number too, because it already moved down to 28 at most places.
It did. And actually some sharper books, he's getting a little steam this week.
Well,
so kind of like seeing that. And I noticed actually last week, Sepp Straka got steam on a lot of sharper books. And yeah, I went with Brian Harmon instead. I'm an idiot.
That's right. I went with Cole instead. Fucking asshole.
Fine. Yeah.
Oh, but I bet Hatton, just single boarded Hatton live after I forgot the tournament started. I got an 18-1.
Oh, congratulations, tout. Did you tell anybody?
No, why? I didn't talk about it on the show. We didn't even talk about the tournament.
So you just want to pat yourself on the back right here, though. All right,
here.
Good job.
Yeah, that's right.
Good job. Okay. Is there anybody you really hate in this range? Because there's one guy I think is going to have a rude awakening this week.
Is it Gracerman?
It's Gracerman.
You don't like this kid.
It's not that I don't like him. I just think he's been eating up a lot of these lower level, easier live under par golf courses on the PGA Tour. And he's been feasting on them. And now we're going to get to a golf course where he is not a very good long iron player over 150.
No.
Doesn't have a very good short game. And even though on paper he's a really good putter, he has basically no POA on his record. So I have no idea if even that's going to translate. So really the only thing he has is pop off the tee, which is a cheat code. I'll get that. But I think this is going to be the wake-up call for Gracerman. And so, like, for example, let's see if, like, the matchup market for Gracerman right now. Like, what's some of the guys that I can get head-to-head against him? Okay. Tony Finau is an underdog to Max Gracerman.
Yeah, I'm taking
minus 105.
Injury or no injury, I'm taking that.
Okay. Will Zalatoris is plus 110 against Gracerman.
Yeah, I feel like this has gone a little far.
I think that's gone a little too far there. So, excuse me. I think that might be two matchups I might be looking at to fade Gracerman. So, I didn't mind Gracerman last week because half the tournament was on these really easy golf courses.
Yeah.
I just think I think it's going to catch up to him.
Okay. At this point. I'm fine with that.
All right. Anything else in this range, or do you want to?
Was Lowry in this range? I think Lowry stinks. And Homa.
So Lowry, this is the first time Lowry is playing in, I think, 3 months.
Yeah, and you want him fucking standing over a 5-foot putt on POA? I'll pass.
So he's actually been good here, though.
Has he?
Yeah, he has. I mean,
did he play last week in Dubai?
Excuse me. No, he did not play last week. This is his first start since last year's DP World Championship.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a top 25 here.
No, he's got top 10 here too.
Oh, how
like
long?
like in 2018.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Okay, fine. So you don't care. But I mean, look, if you're going for guys, I mean, his profile kind of is Keegan. I'm sorry.
I guess.
Well, solid tee to green, solid long iron player. Not that great, but I mean, his putting is a little worse than Keegan, but on POA, he's actually better than Keegan on POA.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same player kind of this week, what you're getting from Lowry. So maybe if like in DFS, like Keegan's getting a lot of ownership, you can probably get the same exact type of profile in Lowry for a discount.
Yeah, I'll have to go look at Andy's ownership thing because I dipped my toe back in last week. Just 2 small single entries just to play around.
Okay. All right. And then lastly, I feel like we have to talk about Zalatoris just because he's so popular.
Yeah. I mean, why would he's perfect. Like he's a perfect profile for this place, playing well. Like, yeah.
When's the last time we had a giant community win? been a hot minute.
I mean, I feel like Straka was fucking pretty popular last week based on fucking Twitter laps.
Well, I don't think that's. I wouldn't qualify as a community win. He was on the tip chart.
Oh, he wasn't. Okay, I couldn't remember.
No, I would say. Was it Ricky at Rocket Mortgage?
It has been. There has to be one in between now and then.
I don't know. Last year was kind of a weird year because Scotty just won everything.
That's true. Yeah,
so,
maybe. Yeah, I mean, fine. I mean, I get it. Like I said, like I get it. Like in reality, like I said off the jump, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the card.
Okay.
I thought about just doing Zalatoris, Keegan, Day, and then betting somebody super deep at 175 to 1.
Okay.
And just call it a day.
All right. Let's move past 30 to 1 to like 65 to 1. A lot of losers in this range.
A lot of losers.
A lot of popular guys that we want to be really good that just end up disappointing us. So starting up with the range of Taylor Pendrith and Kurt Kitayama, 35 to 1. Max Homa sitting there. Actually, a better price on Max than I thought we were going to get this week.
Yeah.
Siwoo 40 to 1, who you just think is the worst golfer on earth now. Congratulations on the fade, by the way. That you were correct. Luke Clanton, you also think he's terrible. Aaron Rye, 45 to 1. Let's just stick with that little six pack right there.
I mean, Aaron Rye's down to 55 at a lot of spots.
Okay, so he's actually faded a little bit this week.
Is it because he's? I don't know if he's long or not. I feel like he's
no. He is. He's those six guys. He's by far the shortest.
Right. So I mean, that's gotta have something to do with it.
Yeah. So I actually have him losing on average like 10 yards per drive to the field average.
Yeah, and he's in the. I know it's a small sample size, Steve, but fucking horrific, fucking POA putter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have great numbers on him either. I got him losing 0.2 strokes. So he's got a good finish. I think what was the Luke List year? He did well.
Oh yeah, he did.
Did he get out? Was he first round leader one year too?
Yeah,
he was,
right.
And then he imploded.
Yeah, I think you're right actually.
But I get it with him. You know, if you're just looking for a guy who's really good, if you're valuing long iron play this week, Aaron Rye definitely fits the bill. Great long iron player. I feel like though it's kind of like the point that I made with Morikawa last week or yesterday that if the fairways are going to be a little on the firmer side than what they have been maybe a little recently, he's going to have a really impeccable driving week. And excuse me, that can be a bit of a tough ask. So
you said I hate Luke Clanton. Do I hate Luke Clanton? Have I said something about him?
I bet him at Sony, and you treat me like a disappointed dad.
Oh, the fucking amateur. Yeah, no shit. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I know. I was like, wait, I think I disliked him. I think I disliked the fact that everybody in the community wanted to bet on an amateur to win. So stupid.
Okay, all right. Well, another guy that
you're chastising me. I apologize.
All right. Well, another guy the community wants to win is Max Homa, 35 to 1 this week. All right, you know what? Go.
No, I just don't know why people want him to win. Like he's not that entertaining. Like he's kind of like annoying at this point.
He's annoying at this point.
Yeah,
expand on
he's
that.
Funny. The worst thing anybody can tell somebody who's like mildly funny is that they're funny, and then they just try to make everything a fucking bit. Like not everything's a bit. Like I don't know. I don't know. He annoys me on Twitter at this point. So. That might be my personal feelings coming in. Look, there's no doubt his course history here is fucking ridiculous. Played all right of the century. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. I don't know, man. He looks so horrific coming down the stretch at the end of last year. He didn't even look good hitting a fucking ball into a virtual thing 2 weeks ago. So, and I get how good he is putting on POA. I get it. He annoys me. I'm good with him. Thanks.
Okay. Well, that's the selling point, I think, on Max this week is because I went back and looked, and he has been a little better tee to green his last few starts. The ball striking has been a little better.
Yeah.
The biggest problem for him last year was the driver. And while he's not losing as many strokes as what he was like in the summer, his power is still gone. So that's not great, but but you know, he's always only had like above average pop, and he still won here.
Yeah.
So the selling point though is he's been putting horrifically, especially on the Bermuda. So now he comes to
completely different surface though.
What's that?
This is such a completely different surface. Like I don't even factor that in based on how good he is. Like
Well,
his recent putting numbers don't move me like because of how good he is on polo.
well, I
That
know,
makes
but
sense.
that's the point is
No, I
because of the
know.
putt. Yeah,
I get why. I get why.
that's the selling point is the ball striking seems like it's better. I don't think it's as good as what people want it to be, but it's better.
Yeah.
But he's such a great POA putter. So to me, at least, I'm not betting him outright, but because he actually was discounted a little more on the odds board than I thought he was, there was a top 20 at plus 180. So I took that. I think he's going to play well this week. I think getting him on this course where he's going to very comfortable with these greens. I think his floor is going to be a lot higher this week. So getting almost 2-1 on top 20 from Max Homa, I thought that's a good bet. So that's on my card this week too, but not the outright.
Okay.
I'll let everybody else be happy with that.
Okay.
All right. Talk about some other guys you might want to bet because you still have an incomplete card. So
yeah, so like I said, I really think I could just do those three and then do somebody super deep. Going back to Jaeger seems like he's on the tip chart. He's on a tip chart for a reason. It's a good number. Obviously, good course history, playing well. I looked at Patrick Rogers, which never ends well for me.
I mean, there's losers, and I bet losers in this range, so I can't judge you for that. Before we move on, though, I did bet Jaeger at 66-1.
Okay.
So here's what I'm a little concerned about is like how often do guys have the close call and like heartbreak and then the next start win?
I want
especially a guy like him.
Yeah, so I want somebody to actually give us the data on that because we talk about course history, right? Like it's a sticky stat, and it is at certain places here, especially.
Well, the funny thing about Jaeger though is other than he was third last year. His course history before that was pretty bad. But I think the key difference is he was hitting it. He was not hitting it nearly as far as what he is now.
No.
So like there's a shift in his game. So I'm willing to throw that out.
Me too.
So
like that. I don't think the course history. I don't think the close call can't win thing isn't. I just fundamentally don't believe that's true.
Okay. I mean, I'm trying also to because this happened last week with Sepp, where I just made up a non-verifiable take on a guy as why I'm not going to bet him, and I'm trying not to do that. And that popped in my head.
Doing a poor way.
Yeah, despite the fact that Sepp looked good in my model last week, Jaeger looks good in my model this week, and I'm trying not to just say like, all right, this is like not real. I'm gonna trust what this is. He's 15th in my model this week.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna. And I thought 66-1 is a good number, and it's
man, his iron numbers are so fucking good.
So here's the thing. All those bad iron numbers were the second half of last year where he was awful, but that was 6 months ago.
I know. No, I'm saying they're so good now. Because I'm looking at a short.
So his recent stuff is pretty good.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I'm doing last 24 rounds. They look nice.
Yeah, it's gotten better. But if you go past that, he couldn't keep on the planet. But no, 66-1 Jaeger, I like that. Another loser I bet, this is a guy you actually crapped on earlier, but he fits a lot of things that I'm looking for in a guy. And I'm sheepish to admit this, but the fact you threw out Patrick Rogers as a potential bet, I'm more confident to say this guy.
Yeah, no shame.
I bet Thomas Dietrich 65-1.
Come on, dude.
You just said Patrick Rogers. You can't judge.
This is the guy when they're on TV that they say he's one on like the Renegade Tour or whatever the hell it was called.
Like he's on the Renegade Tour?
Whatever tour he won on, that's not a real tour. They talk about it like he won on Renegade's probably not the right tour. Somebody I'm sure will correct me. That's the only tour he's won on. The Rebel Tour. Maybe it was the COVID. Remember the weird COVID one? I don't know. He's just a fucking loser, man. I've lost literally so much never won money on him.
Okay. He might be a loser, but there's a lot of losers in this range. Okay. Like it's Thomas Dietrich or Bo Hostler, Thomas Dietrich or Ben Griffin, Thomas Dietrich or JJ Spawn.
I'd rather bet Mark Hubbard. I'd rather bet Hostler and Hubbard.
Okay. Thomas Dietrich or guy who didn't used to be a loser but is a loser now, Daniel Berger. Like it's ugly down here.
It is.
So
it's rough out here.
and I tried to make this point earlier that because this is not an elevated event, and I gave the take yesterday that seems like it's just the for the last year and a half at the non-elevated events, just it's very sleepy and top of the board might only be there for kind of just sponsorship. And I think that's given opportunities to guys in the mid tier right here to kind of steal a win. You saw it last year with the leaderboard. It was Jaeger and Pavon and Højgaard.
Yeah.
A couple other guys that just, they're fine. And Dietrich's that caliber of player. So he's got length. He's a good POA putter. He's been okay from over 150 for the last 6, 7, 8 months.
He has
and then he played pretty well here last year.
No clutch gene. No clutch gene.
He might not.
Zero.
He might not, but
what do you think about the kid? What do you think about the kid Thorbjornsson?
So I can fit 2 more guys in this range. I mean, he's got length. It's a very small sample size, but over 150 he's been pretty good so far in his career. The one thing I do want to, and I have no idea if this is a take, but I actually researched this because he went to Stanford. So I don't know if there's a.
I thought he was a Massachusetts kid.
So he went to college at Stanford. Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't even think he was. That's fine.
Okay.
My bad. I was trying to.
So I don't know. I don't know if there's a take out there right now that because he went to Stanford, he's comfortable on POA. He's gonna be fine. The Stanford golf course is bent grass. So
nice. Well,
yeah,
that's something to tuck away for later.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's something that
I just think that everybody was swinging all over Clanton's knob, and this kid is twice his odds. Why not?
I might do positional on him if I can get a decent.
Why is Matt Wallace on it? 70-1.
Why is he 70-1? Because he's Matt Wallace.
Yeah, he should be way farther on the board.
Well, that's the thing. This field gets ugly pretty quick, man.
I get it, but Mark Hubb is playing better than Matt Wallace. He's deeper.
No, I have Mark Hubbard. I have Mark Hubbard 55-1.
Also, I'll show him 75.
Well, then you probably should.
DK.
Well, all right. Maybe he's lost a lot of his steam then.
Yeah, I'm looking at live odds on DK. Your boy Fishburne. What about him? 80-1.
Well, hold on. There's 2 other losers. There's one loser I bet, and another loser I'm thinking about betting. Okay.
All right.
I bet Doug Gim.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty good from over 150.
I get it.
Terrible putter, but actually pretty good on POA in his career. Been decent at this golf course. I've seen him kind of get in the mix over the last 6 months. He got in the mix of Shriners, a couple other tournaments where he's starting to play better. So, and again, this is just at these non-elevated events, these types of guys are kind of starting to clip these things off.
Yeah.
And maybe that's it. So I actually got him at 80-1.
Yeah. Listen, I get the game. Like I said, I was thinking about betting Patrick Rogers. I can't shame you for much.
Okay. And then the other guy, I'm circling around right now. Do we think Austin Eckroat's going to win 3 times in less than a year?
No, I don't think so.
No. Should I just go positional then?
I was looking at him for positional for top 20, pretty decent top 20.
So his history at Torrey's bad, but he did just have last year T37.
Yeah,
not terrible, but profile though, he has pop off the tee, pretty good from over 150. Terrible short game, which is a knock, but pretty good POA putter.
Yeah,
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, he fits.
That's what I'm going to think about.
Yeah.
So. But in this range here, where I went, from 30-60-1, I went Homa top 20. I bet outright Dietrich, Jaeger, Doug Gim. Circling around Eckroat.
Yeah.
Maybe positional Thorbjornsson. I don't know. We'll see.
I think I'm going to take a position on Thorne Brunson.
Okay.
I think that's the kid I want to get behind instead of Clan, just to be a dick.
Okay.
All
right.
What about Sam Ryder?
Is his mom going to show up?
Oh my God.
Get a gift from the gods. As someone who had Homa, that was a gift from the gods.
Oh, I feel like I had Homa. Yeah, because
no, you had Homa, but you shadow bet him because
that's right.
Yeah, because you missed out on the Tau cash. But yes, you shadow bet him.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's 175 to 1. He just played last week. He played all right. Obviously a decent course history here, other than the meltdown that whoever ever broadcasting at CBS or Fox just completely murdered the poor kid. But he's 175 to 1. Like, I don't know. I'm looking for anything down here.
All right, let's not go that deep yet. All right. There's still some losers between like 75 and 125 to 1 that piqued my interest too. Okay. So Johnny Vegas burned everybody last week, but I feel like this is a better golf course for him.
But he stinks here.
He does stink here. That's the thing. Now, he didn't used to stink here. Like back when Johnny Vegas was like actually like a good consistent golfer in like early mid to 2010s.
Yeah, before he was my age. He's my age. He's like 41.
Okay, but Johnny Vegas is playing a lot better the last like 6-7 months.
Yeah. I'm sure he's on the program.
Like great iron play. He's still one of the longest guys in the
field.
Oh
yeah, no, I know.
Off the tee.
Listen, you know me, I love Vegas, man. Vegas is one of my guys.
So
not here though, not for me.
What about like a top 40 at like if you can get like top 40 plus 150 on him? Would that entertain you?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind even a top 20 just for the upside.
Okay.
But he just thinks so. He just thinks here.
Let me pull up his well, actually, hold on. Let's see if there's a matchup he's in. Okay. Here we go. Johnny Vegas minus 120 over Harris English.
Oh, yeah, I'd take that all day.
You're gonna take that all day?
All day.
English is good here.
I know he is.
But it's been a little rough for
old
Harry here. Okay.
Old goober.
All right, so maybe if you see that one, then that would pique your interest. Okay. All right. Couple other guys that I bet last week. I don't think I'm going back. Well, I'm definitely not going back to Rico Hoy. I learned my lesson there. What a fucking jabroni!
I told you.
I just
as soon as I saw him airmail that fucking green last fall, I was like, this guy will not win.
Look, I knew. I was like, okay, he was tied for the lead heading into Saturday. I'm like, okay, you know what? This was fun. Good call, Steve. He's probably going to fade. But I still had the top 40 at plus 150 back. I'm like, all right, I'm fine. Nope. Awful at the stadium course.
So bad.
Terrible. I still came out ahead on my betting card, but it would have been a much nicer week if Rico just hold on for a top 40. That would have been
he was on my single entry DFS card.
Oh, you just because you saw he's the reason why he kept going lower and lower and lower.
Well, that and then fucking Nico. I had Nico. I got 5 or 6 through, but Nico missed the cut at the end because he went fucking like double triple on his way out the door. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay. Alex Smalley's playing some good golf. Okay. Alex Smalley was good to me last week. Alex Smalley though is pretty bad historically on POA though.
Okay.
So I don't know if I want to
dip your toe.
Keep riding it and double dip because he did cash a nice bet for me last week.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to leave this one alone. Yeah. He is terrible at Torrey. So, but like, I mean, it's tempting because his profile is probably something I'm looking for, other than the fact that he's bad from over 150, which is probably why he's bad here, other than the POA. So, Sam Stevens, though, this is a guy that, so he looks good in my model. He looks as everybody's model because he's a big hitter and, you know, he's done well at some of these comp courses, great POA putter. It seems like when I bet Sam Stevens, it seems like it's just disappointment all week. And I'm probably going to lay off. But I did bet somebody outright at 100 to 1.
Right.
Excuse me. I bet Gary Woodland 100 to 1.
Barrow would be so proud of you.
He is. I bet he is proud. Listen, Woodland played good at Sony. hit the ball
Yeah.
great. Again, like kind of a similar profile as what I would get out of Vegas here, where still has a ton of pop off the tee. The iron's been great from over 150. Obviously just not a great putter, but he's been about only losing a little bit Torrey in his career.
Are there a lot of bunkers on this course?
Well, yeah, it's every hole is the same. If you drive it out, there's a bunker left and right.
Yeah.
Usually
That's
next to the
what
green,
I'm worried about with.
So basically, as long as he only misses long or short, he'll avoid bunkers.
Yeah, which you want when you have Gary Woodland, because he is not great out of the bunkers.
All right, but look, if Luke List could win here,
that's fair.
Gary Woodland can win here. Kevin Yu is another guy I'm kind of interested maybe in positional market. I'm basically going for the same types of guys. Okay, they all have length. They're all pretty good from over 150. Dicey putters, but they've been good here. So, let's see. Joseph Bramlett. I feel like a lot of people are on Bramlett this week. I know Andy's high.
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you about him.
Okay, so I think we kind of glossed over it a little bit. With Bramlett. But so the case for Bram was obviously he's got length. Pretty good iron player. Is horrible enough though that he lost his PG Tour card. So, take that for what's worth. Terrible, awful, horrific putter. Over his last 50 rounds, Joseph Bramlett is losing 1.2 strokes putting to the field. But in his career at Torrey Pines, he is gaining 0.6 strokes putting.
Okay.
So he's good putter here. So that is why he is very good in the miles this week. He's got the pop, he's got the long iron play, he's a good putter here. Good course history. Like a lot of just like top 40 finishes over and over.
Yeah.
So I could see myself probably getting wrapped up in that. Maybe.
Okay.
Excuse me. Another guy who's been playing pretty good first couple events back after getting his PGA Tour card back, Kevin Roy. So he's got a couple top 40 finishes, first two events, hitting the ball well. Terrible from over 150, but I think a lot of that is some of his stats when he was his first stint on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
But he's got some things you're looking for, length off the tee and good for long iron play.
Yeah.
So that could work. Lanto Griffin has been playing okay.
I looked at him.
He's good here. And he's great on the West Coast.
So, he's coming back from an injury still.
Technically, but he won Q School. So that's how he earned his card.
Yeah.
So somebody I'm thinking
maybe
a
lot back in the day.
That's somebody I'm thinking about, maybe long shot top 40, possibly.
Oh, and he got a T12 at Bermuda.
He's been playing a little better. Yeah, he's been playing better,
What do you do with
Hayden
Sony?
Springer is another guy who has some things you're looking for as far as length off the tee. Iron play's been pretty good lately. He's been pretty good at Torrey Pines too. Probably only one start, but hey, when you're going 201 Hayden Springer. Yeah, so that's another guy I'm interested in down here. I don't think I can do the Nate Lashley again, even though he was really good on my model. Yeah. I just don't think I can go back to it. That's basically it, though. That's it for like longer shots. It's trying to look for guys who have some pop off the tee and some good long iron play. There's a couple guys that are piquing my interest. That'll probably end up maybe roping myself into like some sort of positional. So, but like I said, my outright card's incomplete. Positional card is incomplete. I will post that in Discord tomorrow, the final card, once I get everything organized. I still got some decisions to make, so we'll see.
When do the tee times come out? Look at these all fucking day.
Actually, they should be out now, shouldn't they?
Yeah, but they're not.
They're not?
No, I can't.
Well, it's it's the West Coast, so maybe it'll be out like in an hour or so.
All right. Did you bet fake golf tomorrow night?
Oh, TGL?
Yeah.
I probably should. I think Atlanta is going to clean up.
Yeah, that's who I bet. It was only minus 125.
Oh, that's a good price. I mean, I had to pay a lot more juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only so in New York, you can't bet TGL on the mainstream books, the legal books. It's only available on my offshore, and the juice is crazy on it.
Crazy. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is wrong. I'm like, bet that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably a good call. I'm very excited to see Cameron Young, yuck it up there and show his personality to everybody.
So Austin San Antonio posted a few hours ago. So
okay. Well, there you go. Bad
error on my
information,
part.
Capper.
Shocking.
Okay. Good job, Capper.
I went to the fucking PGA website. I don't know. It doesn't matter. All right. So we got 4 minutes before Brian and Jeff come on. What are your predictions for NFL Conference Championship weekend?
Well, I'll save my Buffalo take for our preview show because we're going to have to talk offline about this. I'm going to Florida at the end of the week.
Nice.
So, but my flight gets back on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. and I'm solo dad with a 18-month-old flying back. I'm not going to feel like doing a podcast that night. So maybe we'll do something Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So I have a Buffalo monologue I want to make.
All right. We'll save that then.
As far as the NFC game though, I think the Eagles, even though they look like complete dog shit and trash, I think that was the Commanders' Super Bowl, them winning, and I think there's a chance they might get smashed on Sunday. So probably the Eagles are going to go to the Super Bowl, and then we'll see about the AFC game.
Well, I hope Washington goes because Philly's a bunch of trash people. And I love Jaden Daniels. That cocksucker Steven Ryland kicked that meaningless field goal to have us beat Denver. So we went to the number 3 pick. So we get Drake May instead of Jaden Daniels, which still makes me angry to this day. Yeah. And I don't think there's any shot that the only problem is I feel like I want Philly to win because they're the only team that can beat. Washington's not beating Kansas City and the refs. So Philly might be able to beat Kansas City and the refs. You know what I mean?
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, I loved how Aikman called Mahomes out for being a pussy, for flopping and skirting the system, and how bad the refs are. I hope this is like when hockey coaches do it and there's actually effect to it on the next game. And I pray, and this might make me a scumbag, but if they're going to keep calling these ticky-tack penalties, I want somebody on Buffalo to go ahead and take it to themselves and say, okay, if I'm going to get the 15, I'm getting the 15 and crack his fucking ribs and drive his ass into the ground and actually get a roughing the passer penalty for what deserves to be a roughing the passer penalty.
You know what I actually would rather see? I was actually thinking about this in my head. So Mahomes takes a complete dive again, and then flag comes out, and everybody just starts booing. Everybody's losing their mind on Twitter. And then the ref goes to the camera and does unsportsmanlike conduct number 15.
That was my take. That was my take last night.
Okay.
On Twitter, I said there needs to be a flopping penalty just like there is in the NHL for the NFL. It's a joke. So, all right. Well, we'll do a preview show on Friday at 1 minute till BK and Jeff. We'll both have our betting cards in the Discord. Another good week, and talk to you guys